All right, get off the screen. Get off the screen. What's up? All right, all right. Hello, hello. What it is? What it do? How y'all doing? All right. What's up, people? Hey, how's it going over there? We look like we're live everywhere. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I got good readings here. Vocals sound good. Well, they look good on my readings. That's all I got to go on. I don't want feedback. What's happening, people? What's happening, people? Hi. My name is Tim Black. If you're new to the show, if you're just wondering what's this guy doing on a Sunday, well, that's what we're doing this now. We're doing this now. I want to say what's up to my people on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. I don't remember what platforms we're on. I think we're on all those platforms. I'm not even sure. But we are in the house. We're doing this. This is Sunday, a new day for us. It's Tim Black's Sunday Recap. You know, we like to rhyme stuff. That's my culture. We put rhymes on it. So Tim Black's Sunday Recap right here on the Tim Black Show. And see, what had happened is, this is what had happened. So what we do on this show is we go back on, we talk about what we did this week, and then we talk about what's coming up. So it's for my people that are busy as hell, who didn't get to watch the shows during the week. We bring them up to speed on the major stories that we covered throughout the week, and then we give you a foreshadowing of news that's coming up based on what we've been doing research on. So it's a good, I think it's a new thing, right? It's a new thing. We see how it goes. I think it makes sense. Of course, I guess the viewers will be a judge of that, you know. Let us know what you think about the premise. Is this a way to, is this a good idea or whatever, And it's a good time. I think it's a good time. I figure Sunday evening, and just talk about stuff you missed. Let me go to my comment section, see who's in the house with me tonight. See what's up. Who is hanging? Who's got time? Memphis, Tennessee's in the house. Some Kitty's in the house. What's up, Some Kitty? Buck Bewley's in this joint. He's moderating. He's got that wrench out. What's up, Buck? How you doing, brother? Glad to catch you, man. I had no idea if you would be around. Yo. Some Kitty up in the house. Hello. Memphis, Southeast Ohio here in the house. Some Kitty's in the house. We got Finsterman. Finsterman's also in Memphis, Tennessee. Ohio, okay. We got Ohio, we got Tennessee. Yo, that's what's up. Sounds good. Foolish Coyotes in the house. What's good, brother Tim? How are you living? Well, hope you're living well as I can. Hope you're living well, my friend. That's what's up. That's right. Yup. Blows against the empire. Yeah, I like that, man. Hold on. Let's get that up here too. Blows against the empire. Yo, God bless you. God bless your soul. God bless yours too, brother. God bless your soul. It's a beautiful thing, man. Yeah. So what we do is we try to try to recap people about everything that happened this week, and there's been a lot we've covered. And this gives people a good opportunity to get some feedback, talk back, make comments, ask questions, do that type of thing, and just keep it, keep it lively, but keep it, informative, but not stuffy. Now, we don't do stuffy around here. It's informal. It's laid back. And, it's good stuff. So, let's jump into it, man. Let's do that. Most people won't be expecting it. But all my Patreon members, man, I want to thank you for supporting this show. All my members on Patreon, members on Facebook, members on YouTube to keep the show going. Thank you. Thank you for being a part of this community. Thank you for being a part of keeping the show live. You make this happen. So thanks. Give it up for them. Yeah. I'm about to get my water bottle out. Just, Keep it moving. Buck says the sound is good. Thanks, Buck. Yeah. Byron Donalds would be a good start. Yeah. I got him in chronological. So what I've done is I got clips, right? So, once again, let me know how this is going, how this flows. So I like to start with what I covered at the beginning of last week and work my way up to the current. Okay, so let's start with the first story that I covered last week. If you missed it, was about Joy Reid. And you're right. Who said that about Byron? About it being a good place to start. That was on point. He's been getting a lot of publicity. Real talk, man. Finsterman said that. Finsterman said, oh, this is Buck. This is some. Okay, my bad, some. Here we go. First, Finsterman. Okay, yeah. Finsterman said Byron Donalds would be a good start. There it is. Perfect. Because just so happens, my first story, Joy Reid, was ripping Byron Donalds. So let's go to that.
Donalds, this is election interference. These enablers are what enable Trump to create his ecosystem. And they are incentivized to do that because either they want to be the vice president, they want to be in his good order, and because he is the leader of the Republican Party. This is the Republican Party.
And I just have, I'm sorry, you said you've triggered me thoroughly.
Oh, I didn't mean to trigger. I'm just reading quotes.
Because Byron Donalds, who is from East Flatbush, Brooklyn, as myself, and Tim Scott, who is from the great state of South Carolina, and Marco Rubio, who is Latino, they know damn well who normally ends up at the bottom of this criminal justice system.
Who are the actual victims of a two-tiered system of justice, which he has co-opted that term.
They know exactly that what they're saying is not just factually incorrect, that in the state where Byron Donalds is a congressman, his governor, Ron DeSantis, has dog-walked black voters for voting and had made a show of it to make sure they're on television, to humiliate them out of voting, to frighten them out of voting. His state is the one that passed overwhelmingly a constitutional amendment to restore the voting rights of people because they had that post-enslavement Jim Crow law automatically taking the rights of felons to vote from them, which is a Jim Crow relic. That state had it. It repealed it. And then Governor DeSantis and his Republicans interfered with it to make it harder for people who had served their time to vote. They understand fully because they have lived in the bodies of black men, those two black men, and they're willing to sell themselves cheap. Not even Clarence Thomas will do that. At least he requires it to be expensive. For them, it can be absolutely dirt cheap, free. That's the cheapest it could be, to sell your soul and the lives and memory of all of the black men and women and brown men and women who have suffered in a criminal justice system where they can't delay it, where the Supreme Court won't help them, where they won't have Samuel Alito fly an upside down flag for them, where they won't have any of the benefits that Donald Trump has used to kill every case but this one, including humiliating Fani Willis in Georgia to try to shame her out of prosecuting him. The good thing, the one good thing that happened here is that this case was brought in a state that no Republican controls. Because if it did, the same thing that happened in Georgia would have happened here. Thank God for the state of New York, Donald Trump's home state, because there was no way for him to interfere with the process of justice. And in this rare instance, as somebody who's quite critical many times of the criminal justice system, the system actually worked the way it is supposed to work.
Stop right there, Johnson. All right, that was a lot. That was a whole lot. That was a whole lot of Joy Reid. And I'd like to take it up from here. I'm going to start off by saying I will not in any way, defend the likes of Tim Scott or Byron Donalds or Marco Rubio. I cannot do that. I would never do that. I would never waste your time trying to defend those sellouts. And I do believe they are all sellouts. all three of them respectively. But unlike Joy Reid, she is also a sellout. And I find it crazy. The saying, the pot calling the kettle black comes to mind here. Boom. All right, we back. So that was an interesting segment because Joy Reid spent the better part of it doing a victory lap about Trump and how great our justice system is because it brought Trump to justice. And that's a sign of how great things are. It's crazy, man, and I don't want to jump too far, but it's crazy how the week started off with Joy saying, you know, how our criminal justice system is so great. And then saying how, I don't know, how great we've been doing since Jim Crow. Like, it's a lot of pats on the back about superficial shit. And to the greater point of that video, and it's in the it's on my YouTube channel if you haven't seen it. I think it's a great video. I wish I would have got more people to know about it because I think it points out the hypocrisy of the Democrats, man. Because one of the things I detest, and if you're new to the show or not, you need to know this, I detest the way Democrats frame things. In this particular instance, they're framing it like, you know, the only sellouts can ever be Republicans. And I beg to differ big time on that. I'm not saying Byron Donalds isn't a sellout or Tim Scott isn't one. Come on, man. Marco Rubio. You don't have to be black to be a sellout, and you don't have to be Republican either. That's the point. Now, we don't expect Joy Reid to be honest and be unbiased in that regard because she's a sellout herself to what? Corporate money, corporate interest in the Democratic Party. So Joy's hypocrisy is what this video is really about, and it's what they were displaying because the Democrats are so happy to get Trump conviction just to slow him down a little bit because he's lapping old Joe. So they got to try to slow him down. He's doing too much. He's doing too damn much. And the idea, I don't know, I find it kind of funny. I find it kind of funny that Joy's talking like, you know, these guys have sold their souls. If Tim Scott sold his soul, what have you done, Joy? Yeah, what have you done, Joy? Have you sold your soul? I mean, you're a journalist. At least Tim Scott and Byron Donalds work for a party. You know, they are under a charter of an organization, just like Hakeem Jeffries, who I also think is a sellout, just like I think Amy Klobuchar is a sellout and Nancy Pelosi, big-ass sellout. You know, these people are huge sellouts. Just like I think Mitch McConnell's a sellout. I got no problems, but it's like you're a journalist and your one job is to report the news and to go after the powerful. And I don't know if you noticed or not, but Democrats are very powerful. But the DNC related, the CNNs and MSNBCs only feel that the Republicans are corrupt. I mean, have you taken a look at John Fetterman lately? I got to put that in my notes because you just did a segment with Bill Maher. That's an upcoming that I forgot to list. I mean, what person who's following politics could say who's going to dismiss the sellout nature, like how John Fetterman's been moving? This guy's the epitome of selling out. He is a classic sellout. This guy came in as, I'm a progressive and I'm Bernie's guy. I'm just like, John Fetterman was like, he's the second coming of Bernie. And now he's walking around with touting every conservative Zionist talking point. But to Joy Reid, only the Republicans are sellouts. So they did their victory lap in that video. And then she further exposes herself, y'all. She exposes herself, not the way you think, but she exposes her hypocrisy on such a level. Because she goes on to say, hey, thank God we're in New York. Thank God the trial for Trump is in New York. Because now, the Democrats can get it done. And these will be the same people that say this wasn't politically motivated and politics had nothing to do with it. But you just said that thank God for the Democrats getting it done in New York, which insinuates, which implies, and everybody's been going after Byron about implying, but doesn't that imply that if all things were equal, it wouldn't have happened? And isn't that the very point Republicans are trying to make? Is that it took Democrats to get this done? I mean, they had the trial in the district that Trump only got 5% of the vote. And when they tried to move the venue, they wouldn't let him move it. So, like, my job, what I've decided, what I've assigned myself, because I don't work for anybody, so I can't get fired. I get unsubscribed, especially when I fight for black folks. That's beside the point. We don't care about that. Point is this. They say that Donald Trump being convicted is justice, and now it's our justice system working the way it's supposed to. But it wouldn't have worked that way if you weren't in New York in a district that highly hated Trump. And are there people really delusional enough to believe that presidents don't get preferential treatment? I mean, come on, man. I mean, if presidents don't get preferential treatment, you know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see Obama sued by the citizens of Flint, Michigan, when he drank that water, pretended to drink that water while kids were being poisoned. Every child that drank that water after seeing their president drink it or pretend to drink it, then they should be able to sue Obama personally because he lied to them. He defrauded them. Now, this is not a statement that Joy Reid would ever make. Nor probably anybody at MSNBC at all. Because, beholden to the Democratic Party. So yeah, it's not about, and I gotta thread the needle all the time, yo. I gotta keep threading the needle because every time I turn around, like any criticism of Democrats is taken as an endorsement of Republicans, which is such BS bullshit. That's how brain damaged people are. You know? But that's okay. I've been called worse things. I've been called a Democrat too. And, I think they're horrible. That's the difference between what I do here and what we try to do and what we did in this video. Because in this video, I want to point out the hypocrisy of both sides of the aisle. Both parties are horrible. And instead of doing victory laps about, we got Trump convicted on these Class E felonies. Class E felonies. Just be careful what you wish for. Just be careful what you clap for. Because now that his base is super invigorated and you're worried about the Department of Interior going away and the Department of EPA going away and all this stuff, and I got to hear everybody crying about the boogeyman of the 2025 project and all this stuff. You don't think he didn't throw gasoline on the fire? I don't know if you know what gasoline is. I mean, you really don't get it? So that's what that video is about, man. Presidents get preferential treatment all the time. If not, every president of the United States would be what? In jail. In jail. Because all of them have committed war crimes, probably. Maybe except Trump, right? Only because he didn't start any new wars. So all the presidents for the last 30, 40 years, right? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong here. Killing of American citizens on foreign war without proper process, Obama. Bush invasions. And if there's some illegal war going on, or if there's a slaughter, genocide, whatever you want to call it, going on in Israel, if we're the primary funder of it, providing the weapons for it, Biden. I mean, if Bibi's in trouble, wouldn't Biden be in trouble? He's facilitating it. I'm just someone's pointing out reality. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. So that was Monday, I think it was, or Sunday. That was Sunday or Monday. One of those days, that's when we covered that. And the video, you can find it on my YouTube channel. Go check out the full video, comment. And I don't know if I should stop here or should I keep going. Let's stop here and get some comments. Anybody got a comment here? Give me a buck and you make a comment, put it in red or something so I can I got any super chats on this topic? Anything? Does this resonate with you? You feeling anything here? I said, I can see your ear, Tim. Was it clean, Buck? I had to turn my head, man. That thing is kind of crazy. Oh, man. I don't know. I guess we got nothing. I guess we keep it moving. Africa's king. What did Africa King say? Trump and Joy Reid. I have the same. There's a lot of Joy Reid jokes about hair, isn't it? Trump and Joy Reid have the same hairstyle. I think she did it to mock Trump, which is hilarious because people have said his hair is horrible. So now her hair is horrible. That's sort of her mocking herself, right? What's that hairstyle like, Buck? Justin Bieber? The Justin Bieber hairstyle? I don't know, man. It's funny. Okay. I'm playing in the background. Thank you, fam. No Shada says I'm playing in the background. Do you think, Tim? Okay, I'll keep it pushing. I will take one comment from somebody who's I won't say they're a Trump supporter or a DNC supporter, but they here we go. Some kitty. This is not a troll. Some kitty says, I definitely think Trump should go to jail in my place. If he's busy, perhaps Biden could accommodate me. Yo. No one thinks it's going to happen, do they? Like, we can argue over should he go to jail for the entry in his ledger about where the money, whatever, right? But do you really think? I mean, honestly, guys, let's be honest. There's a lot of things that should happen in life. If all the things that presidents do, right? All the things rich people, powerful people do you really think? I mean, come on. Do you really think Trump's going to go to jail? And do you think, really, in the grand scheme of things, the country with the most prisoners, the country with the most interventionist wars in the Western world ever. The country that apartheid and even Adolf used as their guide to slaughter people. They used American system. They looked at what we were doing here and said, hey, let's do what the Americans did and build upon our example. Do y'all really think that we're going to send a president to jail for whatever the hell this is in New York? You really think that? You really think that? Y'all are smart people. At least, come on. You really think that's what's going to happen? All right, I'm going to go to the next thing, man, because that's sort of rhetorical. I really don't expect anybody to answer that, but I just want you to think about what that, you know. That's my response to it. I would never say Trump's innocent, but I wouldn't say Obama's innocent or Biden's innocent. You know how many people died because of the Biden crime bill? You know how many families were destroyed with that disparity between crack cocaine and powder cocaine? You don't. Okay, let's keep it moving. My next video I covered. Well, I think it was Tuesday. I covered this video about black women. Are they pawns of the Democrats? And what inspired this video was a segment from The View. Because you know how great The View is. It's a fantastic show full of such political insight. Check it out. The Democratic Party uses black women to do what? Beat up on black men. They use black women in order to control black men, in an attempt to control black men. I don't think it's working. It's no longer working because when we get fed up, we get fed up.
So it comes down to the messaging is not making it.
Can I just say, just very quickly, I know I have a legal note. 83% of black registered voters identify as or lean Democratic. 81% of black men, 81% are in the Democratic Party. So I don't want to hear anymore that black men are voting for Trump. Black women resoundingly will show up for Biden, and they're going to bring their sons, they're going to bring their grandsons, they're going to bring their husbands, and the black vote will turn out for President Biden.
Sonny, that's a reference to a poll that says he used to have a 92% following. So the trend is down. I'm not saying they're going to go vote for Donald Trump.
Can I just point out before Sonny does her legal thing?
No. So that was an interesting segment. And you know what, man? I got to take something back. Because when I framed this particular topic, man, I kind of screwed up a couple things. And one of those things I screwed up was, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, and I'm gonna try to keep the camera out of my ear. With my back up like this. My son hooked this up, and I'm just not using it right. Gosh, how can I back up over here? Here we go. I screwed up in this video because I should have put it another way, and that is, I don't think black women are a pawn, because pawns, here's the dilemma. But hold on. Here's the dilemmas. I don't look at regular voters the same way I look at talking heads on TV. So like who I'm talking about in the video really are the people like commentators and the fake journalists, right? So the Whoopi Goldbergs, the Sonny Hostins, the Joy Reids, the these type of people is who I'm really talking about. Those are the pawns. But they're not pawns, are they? Because those are accomplices. Yeah, so pawns are unknowing. You don't know you're a pawn. You're a what's it, NPC? So you don't know what's going on. You just kind of like walking around, picking up stuff, walking over here, walking over there, and this stuff's going, and the real actors are doing their thing. You're not even a conscious actor in what's happening, but you are part of it, right? You're collateral damage. But what I was talking about really in this video are the people that are knowingly doing their damn thing. And their thing that they're doing is kissing all the Democratic Party ass, like Sonny was. You know how disgusting it is? I'll say for me, as Tim Black, it's disgusting on a black man, father, husband level. To have this heifer running around saying, we're gonna get black women gonna take their sons, their grandsons, their husbands to go vote for Biden. Don't worry about that. These black women got this. And I just pointed out in that video that I never hear Latino or Hispanic men being talked about that way. Like black men are a bunch of suckers. Like black men don't get to make up their own minds. Like black men are controlled by black women. Like I never hear white women saying we're gonna go make our white men go give all these black people reparations. And we're gonna make that happen because we think that should happen. So we're gonna be able to just tell our sons and our grandsons and our husbands. I never hear that type of talk on anything. I never hear white women saying, we're gonna go make all these white men, our sons, our grandsons, and our husbands go in whatever, anything. Because those men have agency over themselves, right? And those men make their own minds up. They're not belittled and degraded and dehumanized, emasculated to where they can't make up their own minds. I never heard anybody on that show talk that way about Asian men. So that was sort of like the point of the video is like, yo, this is disgusting. And nobody there. Whoopi sat right there. She didn't correct her. She just want to make sure legally some other comments Sonny made wasn't going to get them sued. She didn't give a shit about Sonny saying black women control black men. Imagine if it was the other way around, and some black man was like, don't worry, black men gonna make their women do XYZ. Oh my God. Oh my goodness gracious, y'all. Wouldn't it go crazy in here? Wouldn't it be crazy? Wouldn't they pull out the heavy artillery? They'd be shooting all types of shots up in the house. They would light the club up, then burn it down. They shoot the club up, burn the club down, then drop a bomb on the club. Just for even insinuating or implying that black men could tell black women what to do. But it's okay for them to do the other way around. So the larger point is that, yo, I don't hear Republicans talk that way about us. Now, they call us thugs. They say thugs, but quiet as it's kept, some Democrats say the same type of stuff. But, the narrative is only Republicans say stuff like that. But, I only hear Democrats say stuff like this. And then they say, why black people, or black men in particular, why black men turned off by Biden so much? I don't know, maybe because you don't respect us. And then like any other men in America, we get treated like we don't exist, we don't matter, and we're led around by our wives, by our noses. And we're too dumb to make our own decisions. And when just because we decide differently, and once again, remember, white men, Latino men, and Asian men all vote twice as much for Trump than we do. 3 times as much. But still, we're the ones, they say, are being led by a woman. Not that we're making the decision together. She didn't say black men and black women gonna have a conversation, they're gonna get together and come together and realize and have a good talk about this and try to decide what's better for our families. She didn't say that. She said black women gonna take their sons. Black women gonna take their sons, their grandsons, and their husbands down there and vote for Biden. That sounds like somebody's a child. I'm a grown-ass man. My name ain't Baby Boy. Now, maybe some of these corny-ass, fake men who ride with the Democratic Party and who would defend this type of emasculating, talk down it, disrespectful language, but I ain't one of them. Now, I know that's kind of heavy for some of y'all, because some people don't like it when Tim Black's mean, big black man. He's scary. His words are violence. And there's some corny-ass black dudes who will ride with that too, because they're corny. But most of the ones that will ride with that are institutional, elitist, DNC-related kiss asses. And they're not real brothers. They're just here for a party. The Democratic Party. So that's what that video was about, for real, for real. I feel really good about it. If I could do it over, I'd change the title. And I don't know how I would finesse it, but I would say that let's focus on the powerful women in media who had these platforms. The Jemele Hills, the Tiffany Crosses. Not saying I know exactly what Jemele Hill falls on this. So I don't think Tiffany Crosses said some BS. You know. So I think the shoe, she kind of fits that. You know, so sassy. You know, so strong-willed and determined. You can be strong-willed and determined, and that's a beautiful thing. But you can't take away other people's will. You can't talk about other people in a way that they don't have their own choices. That's all. And I don't know, man. I saw one brother cover my video. I didn't see any pushback. I didn't see much pushback. I don't remember seeing. Everybody kept saying, Tim, you're being too hard on Roland. You're too hard on these other people. I didn't see them push back on this. I mean, you don't feel a tinge of like, this was disrespectful. You don't get that at all. Maybe people don't get it. All right. I'm going to keep it pushing. I'll keep it pushing. Oh. Okay. I'm going to go to the next video. I'm filling this out. Maybe going to the comments is not the thing to do, especially because of the time lapse. By the time you know I'm looking for comments, it's still on the other part. There's a gap. It ain't real time with the comment section. So I think in the middle of the week, we're talking about Candace Owens, y'all. Yeah, Candace Owens. This video is about her cry for help. If you missed it this week, it was a pretty good video. Once again, if you become a member of the Tim Black Show on YouTube or Facebook or what's the other one? YouTube, Facebook, Patreon. Yeah. You get clips. You get the clips of everything, and everything's in one place. You don't have to go to YouTube channel to find it. Like, everything that week is posted on my Patreon. Go to jointimblack.com to join Patreon, starting only $5 a month. So that's me plugging the show. Candace Owens was crying for help. Help me, help me. I've been caught in a sellout trap and I can't get up. Well, I'm just going to run it because I think the video explains it. Here we go, Candace Owens.
See what's happening. Everyone can at first see the...
Hey, get to it. Hey, you, Sugar Lips, get to it. Little lady, taking a long time. Spit it out.
Public attacks on me over my, I shouldn't even say it's a belief, just the truth that Christ is king, and something that I will never stop saying as a Christian, nothing that I will apologize for. But these attacks against me and my character have not stopped. And I think partially it's being driven by the fact that they have not been successful. It has not. There's obviously a very real attempt to smear and to libel me out of existence, to make my audience not want to follow me anymore. And there is an entire network working behind the scenes this as like, I'm here just a Daily Mail. I understand that when somebody is leaking stories and claiming to have an inside track.
Jesus Christ. This is hard to cover. Okay, she's going to get to a point where she's going to tell you exactly why she's talking to us. She's being attacked. She's being set up. They came for her. Her phone started ringing. That wake-up call phone started ringing on her ass.
Or some inside knowledge by continuing her employment.
Yeah, that was Candace Owens. That segment was all about Candace Owens. A video she put out on X where she was saying how the Daily Wire was not treating her fairly and that the Zionists were coming for her. Zionists were coming over the hill, a bunch of zombie Zionists, mad as hell at her for talking smack. They're coming after her and treating her badly, and she can't fight back because she signed a non-disclosure agreement with the Daily Wire for money. And I just didn't feel sorry for her at all. Yeah, I don't feel sorry for her. There are people that keep saying, every once in a while I hear people go, oh, Candace could have been so useful. Because she could talk. Nah, man, the ethics of a person are vitally important in this line of work. Anybody that for 10 years almost, 8 years, has been nonstop negative black propaganda for white institutions, it's not a friend to the black community. I don't know why you think it's okay to try to even overlook that. Because you think she's going to influence somebody or help your movement. I don't see now. Man, it's more important for people to have the right type of politics and to have the right motives. That's important. I don't feel sorry for her at all. Candace made millions of dollars doing what she's been doing and did it unrelentlessly, tirelessly for damn near a decade. And now because she decided she wanted to step out and speak, against Gaza, that's great. The war in Gaza, that's great that she's speaking out against it, that she did speak out against it. But that doesn't mean that's not, I mean, maybe it's a forgiver and you feel like you want to forgive her past deeds. They weren't even that past. They were like 2 minutes ago. I mean, come on. I don't trust her. I don't know why you do. Oh, that's right, because she wasn't shitting on white women for 10 years or white men for 10 years. Or we're saying that black children deserve to be shot and killed when cops shot them. Or black men who were killed by cops. Maybe if she would have been saying that about Jewish people or Asian people, maybe you feel a little bit different, or maybe somebody other than black people. But it's sort of like some people just, and I'm not just talking about white folks. There are black people who really don't value black people. I've learned a lot over the last couple years. We all have screwed up heads, not just white folks who come from the South. There are black people who have horrible mentalities about other black people. And there are white people as well. But we kind of expect it from them. So what I'm saying is there's no redemption for her ass. So now she's talking about she's being set up and attacked. And the kicker to this was, here we go. The kicker to it was like she was saying she's being demonized. Back up here. I guess I got to get this right. She kept saying that she was being demonized, y'all. And I got a real problem with somebody who's been demonizing black people for so long, complaining that she's getting some demonization. Because you were fine demonizing other people. You never think ever you were going to get some of that payback? No, of course not. Of course not, Tim Black. Now that she's getting something, it's called you reap what you sow. You can't shit on people forever and never get what's coming to you. I mean, I'm not saying karma takes care of all things. But sometimes. So there are people that think Trump getting what he deserved. He put the number in the wrong column with the thing, and he should have said he paid off the $30,000. Well, Candace has made millions of dollars dumping on my sisters, my brothers, my cousins, my uncles, my neighbors, my children. Millions of dollars. But you want to forgive that. But Trump need to go to jail for a Class E felony? Oh, we just got different politics, different way of looking at it. If presidents should be held accountable, I'm not saying Candace should go to jail. What I'm saying is she got fired from a job. She got fired from a job. She didn't even get deplatformed. We're supposed to form a parade because this knucklehead, slanderous, cold-hearted. It's so many words I want to use. I'm looking for, come on, Tim, you got a better vocabulary, because there's some go-to words that I could say for her. But I'm not supposed to feel bad about this. Her losing her job at the place, horrible. As if she didn't know she was at a horrible place to begin with. I mean, when we get to some other stories, the same thing is going to apply. I mean, you didn't know where you were working? Hey, for the record, the Daily Wire's been following my page, been following me on Twitter, and so has Turning Point USA. They have both been following me for the last 7 years. I've never DM'd them, never emailed them, never asked them for a sit down, but they've been watching me like, hey, you need to come on over here and make millions with us. But I know what kind of platform that is, right? I know that. You don't think Candace knew what she worked at? In the politics of where she worked? She helped them become who they are. Oh, but it's excuses for her, though. It's excuses for others, too. I noticed that. Whole bunch of ass kissing. Whole lot of slow singing and flower bringing for others when they know exactly what they signed up for. So Turning Point USA, the same company, the company owned by Charlie Kirk that follows Candace, follows me because I talk shit about Democrats, right? And they've been doing so for a long time. Anybody who does this, back when blue checks were earned, not paid for because Elon just wants to sell them, it was an integral part of my business because I had so many different people on the show. So that's probably how I initially hit the radar. But what I'm saying is, I've been a known entity. There's avenues I could have probably taken. Would you have been as forgiving if I went to the Daily Wire? Why would that not be forgiving? Well, maybe I could use my ability to reach their audience and turn them around. Maybe I'll be able to convince some people to switch. Meanwhile, me as a, dad now, a granddad, who just got full custody of my grandkids too. I could use millions of dollars. Would you be so forgiving if it was me? Just check it and see where we at. Probably not. Why does this person get to be a total sellout, throw black people under the bus consistently for 8 years? And I got people going, hey man, it's not right what they did to her because she was standing up for, Palestinians. How about you get what you pay for? How about she got what's coming to her ass? I don't know, man. It seems crazy. Seems a little crazy. All right. Next story. Next story. Later in the week, we went to Bill Maher. Now, all this stuff is on my YouTube, and they're full-length videos. Like the Bill Maher video is like 30 minutes. It's a whole segment of MASH, man. Whole episode of Friends. I covered on these topics. Bill Maher Bill Maher was gaslighting like hell, guys. I had to cover this. I covered it on Thursday, I think it was, or Wednesday, I don't know. But check it out. Here goes a clip. Here goes some of the video. Compliments of Breaking Points, because I knew if Breaking Points covered it, maybe I could avoid the copyright claim that usually is on Bill Maher content, because they let them use it. So, but I also gave credit to Breaking Points. So compliments of Breaking Points. Check it out.
As usual, you know, we got to start with Bill Maher. Let's take a listen.
I would really be shocked if this judge gave him a prison sentence for this.
I mean, MAGA Nation will go nuts. I don't know if that's a reason to or not to do something, but they will.
Yeah, but one of the things about this apocalyptic language that you hear from all of these, the Amen chorus, is they really are inviting violence. And that's a big concern of mine. And Trump is completely unrestrained in suggesting that maybe that's appropriate. I mean, he hints that all the time. That's how he got in trouble on January 6th. And he's doing it again because I think he's more desperate now than he was then.
But if they put him in jail, I know it'll happen because the judge's name was Juan.
Yes.
Everything becomes racial in this country. You know, that's partly because of our horrible, despicable racial past, partly because some of that racism lives on in the president, and some of it because the far left makes everything racial. But that's what it's going to be. A civil war in this country, I'm sorry to say, becomes a race war. That's the sad truth about this country. And if they put him in jail, I mean, that's the first thing his supporters are going to say is, oh, that's what it is.
Well, that's the first thing
a black
he will
district attorney, you know, all these people who are the district attorneys, they're black. The judge was not white. This is what it is.
Is it me or Crystal, or is he the only one seeing some of the race aspect of this? Because look, I follow a lot. Projection. I was going to say I follow a lot of Republicans. I follow some of the most like hardcore MAGA people you will ever see, and I don't see a single discussion of race in any of this criticism, except maybe from like replies to literal Nazis. So maybe this is a little bit of projection, like you said, from Mr. Maher, because I don't know what the hell he is talking about.
I mean, listen, obviously there are racial divides in this country, but ironically, given the fact that you do have more Latinos and African Americans going to the Republican side, it's actually the least racially polarized in terms of a partisan divide that we've been in a long time.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the clip, man. We got Bill Maher, and I gotta say, Bill Maher's full of shit. I kept on saying it. That particular segment was good because, well, Bill Maher gave me so much material. And look, if you watch some earlier videos, like the week before, I did talk about how this frivolous lawsuit, and I looked at it as frivolous. Sorry if you disagree. This would just have to disagree. I thought it was as frivolous as hell, right? And it's not going to achieve anything other than publicity. And so far I'm right, because he raised, what was it, how many millions? Shit, $500 million? I don't know, some crazy number. No, not that much. Maybe 100 mil at this point. I don't know. I stopped covering how much Trump raised off of the convictions. But last time I covered it was like 70 mil, I think. Anyway, which is, you know, probably not exactly what you want to do if you're Joe Biden. But anyway, here's the thing. Bill Maher was saying there's going to be a race war because if Trump goes to jail. That's what it was. He said it was going to be a race war. And I disagreed. First of all, black people don't have no power. Black people don't have power to lock up a president. So I don't know who you're thinking who was going to do this. And blacks and Trump supporters aren't all white people. So what's the race? Where's the race part? Now, if you say it's going to be a class war, maybe so. But then again, we got some doofy Trump supporters who really think that Trump is for the little guy when his tax breaks actually help the big guys. And we got some dumb Democrats who say the Republicans are all about a class war, or no, the Democrats are better on a class issue, but Biden really didn't change the tax code to really help poor people. He just kind of, if you made over like $250,000 a year, your tax went up. So that's a little hit at the rich, but it doesn't really like, your taxes didn't change if you were poor, or if you were moderate, if you make less than 250,000, which is a lot of money. But I'm saying taxes didn't change that much in the tax code. But the point is, it's not, I don't think it's a threat of there being actually a race war, more so a war of class. And civil war, he said that's could happen or whatever. He said that becomes a race war. It's just Bill looking for something to hang his hat on. Like, he got a bunch of writers and they had to come up with something to talk about. And an angle that wasn't being taken, or an angle that wasn't, that was kind of fresh for the show following their convictions. And he decided to, fear always works. Get people riled up. But I think it was BS. And just fear-mongering, right? Trying to scare people. The whole premise that Latinos, are going to get hunted down because they're the reason why, because the judge. Nah, like, I believe that there would be some people on edge and they may act out. Help. You don't even need anything special to happen for white supremacists to start shooting up black people in churches or black people in supermarkets. So we already proven that. That we know, right? So we don't need, you don't need you to say it's because of Trump, but I don't know, man. Being well, it says here that Hispanic is not a race. So I don't know how it's gonna be a race war. Maybe you're saying undocumented people war? I don't know. A Juan war, Juan Merchant. You said the judge's name is Juan, so maybe it'll be racial. But there are white Hispanics and black Hispanics. I don't know. I worked with a Hispanic guy for about 10 years, and I didn't even know he was Hispanic because he called himself Joe. Until like my last few months there, when I had to reset one of his passwords into a server or whatever, technical stuff. And I realized his real name was Jose. He'd been going by Joe the whole time. Because he was light-skinned Hispanic, I had no idea. But he was a private contractor. He had a contract with this agency I was working at, and he was able to get contracts. So he didn't want that to mess that up. So he just told everybody to call him Joe because he didn't want to face discrimination, which is something a lot of. He was passing. He was passing for Italian or something. Joe was a good guy, though. I like Joe. Joe was a good guy. Oh, I'm sorry, Jose. But my point is, who's going to get backlash for? No, Democrats and Republicans might want to fight it out in the street. That ain't got nothing to do with the rest of us. And if there's a fight between Biden supporters and Trump supporters, of course Biden loses. Biden doesn't have a base. I mean, say for maybe some black commentators on MSNBC and CNN. I mean, who's his base? Most of the people that voted for Biden just didn't want Trump. That doesn't mean they're going to go fight for Biden. So if the MAGA people lose their mind and they run in the streets and they want violence, who's going to be opposed to them? It's the feds. And if that don't work, the National Guard. Not Joy Reid and Anderson Cooper. With Blitzer, who's going to get out there? Who's going to get out there and get after the MAGAs? Bakari, I met Bakari in person. He don't want no smoke like that. I mean, I've seen him in person. What's the guy, Dr. Jason? Dr. Jason's, he's cupcake. He don't want no problems. He don't want no problems. I met him too. He looked like he was going to pee on himself when I met him. I was like, what's all this shit you was talking? He was like, I don't think the MAGA people would have any problem with Dr. Jason Johnson. It was at Politico. It wasn't on the streets. It was at Politico. Anyway, my point is, Bill Maher is full of shit. He really is. There ain't gonna be a race war if Trump does house arrest for 30 days or whatever the hell. There will be a landslide voters, like I said in the video. I don't want to give too much away, but if they lock up Trump, you think Trump's base is invigorated now? We got people coming out of hospice care, making it their dying wish to vote for Trump. All right, let's keep it moving, man. I got a couple more. We're getting to it, though, guys. Remember, if you like this, if you like the content, you want to see the full content, it's on my YouTube channel. Go to watchtimblack.com or wherever you are right now, you probably can find it. Yeah, we get into it. We do a live show Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. We talk about politics. We really get into it. I think I got a unique point of view because I don't work for the Democrats and I don't work for the Republicans. And unlike some people that I'm beginning to see, man, I don't like neither one of these parties a lot more than, like, I really don't like either party. I mean, I really don't like Democrats or Republicans. I really don't. I'd be torn because I really think both of them are hypocrites. I'm seeing there are a lot of people who cannot be that blunt with it. They're like, it's a little bit, they got residuals. They give benefits of the doubts to the Democrats. They don't give benefits of the doubts to Republicans at all. And I noticed it. Well, I don't know what you're thinking. I don't know. I think they're both garbage. But, I mean, I used to be that way, like you. So I get it. But I guess when I was, I didn't realize it. But I realized it now. Phew. I mean, I don't see much. Okay, let me stop. Yeah, I just don't see much redeeming qualities in Nancy Pelosi. Like, what? She's a scumbag and a thief and all these other things. And you're like, but we could say whatever about Mitch McConnell. I don't see a lot of smoke for Nancy. I mean, I do, but you know what I'm saying. All right. Byron Donald's name is everywhere. They have lit this guy's name up. If this guy's not going to be Trump's VP pick, he sure is doing a lot for the brand of the Trump brand. This guy has really raised his profile. Big time. You know what I'm saying? Because every time I turn around, it's like Joy wants to talk about him. Abby Phillip wants to talk about him. Hakeem Jeffries is talking about him. Everybody on the Democratic Party is talking about him. So he must be pretty effective because nobody really wants to talk about Tim Scott. I mean, not really. Come on, you know this is wrong. You know I'm just as good of a sellout as Byron. Oh, come on. I deserve bootlicker status. I'm the best bootlicker. Oh, guys, we can do better. We gotta do better. I'm Tim Scott. I'm the only black senator that's Republican. And my pants are tight, and I love Trump. Oh, Trumpy. Oh, Trump. Come on, guys. Pick me. I got a woman. I like ladies. Oh, God. Please. I don't even eat quiche much. Just a couple days a week. Other days, I even had a steak once. I once ate a steak. Come on, guys. Come on. I had a single mom. Come on. I'm the only black, there's only room for one black sellout over 50. Come on, Republicans. I'm not dating Lindsey Graham. Please. He's a, we used to talk about Tucker Carlson's face being punchable. But Tim Scott looks like he's been in the middle of being punched. It's like, Jesus, man. Milk that head. Come on. You know I've got to milk that head. Come on. I'll put this milk that head together and use it for Trump. We've been conservative. Racism doesn't exist. Neither does my wife. Come on. You know it's wrong. You know it's wrong when you say things are mean. It's wrong. It's so unpatriotic. Stop focusing on race. I wonder what Tim Scott's Christmas cards look like. Oh, Merry Christmas. All right. Subscribe to the Tim Black Show. Buck, that's your fault. That's your fault, Buck. I'm supposed to be a serious commentator here, Buck. That was fun, though. Okay, back to Byron Donald. Byron Donald. He made some comments. Yeah, he made some comments that got him in hot water. Here goes those comments, man. This was a great video, man. We had fun with this one.
I look at my father.
Remarks. They were made as a part of a pitch to Black voters in Philadelphia. And I want you to hear it in its full context. Listen.
I grew up with my mom. My dad and my mom, things didn't work out. As an adult, I look at my father and I say, bro, I don't know what happened, but you my father and I love you. Wow. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. Wow. But I'm gonna tell you this. Growing up, the one thing I knew I wanted to do, and this is not about my father, this is about what I wanted to do, is I wanted to be a father to myself. Wow. And so one of the things that's actually happening in our culture, which you're now starting to see in our politics, is the reinvigoration of Black families with younger Black men and Black women. And that is also helping to breed the revival of a Black middle class in America. You see, during Jim Crow, the Black family was together. That's right. During Jim Crow, more Black people were not just conservative, because Black people always have been conservative-minded, but more Black people voted conservatively. And then HEW, Lyndon Johnson, and then you go down that road, and now we are where we are. What's happened in America the last 10 years, and I say it because it's my contemporaries, it's Wesley's contemporaries, you're starting to see more Black people be married in homes, raising kids. It's when you home with your wife raising your kids, and then you look at the world, you're saying, now wait a minute, time out. This does not look right. How can I get something to my kids? It goes back to the conversation of generational wealth. Not just having a job, generational wealth.
Now, we should note that many Democrats who jumped on Donald's today claimed that he said that Blacks were, quote, better off. As you heard there, he didn't use those exact words in the clip, but the congressman joins me now to talk about that. Congressman, thank you for being here. I want to just focus on really the substance of what you were saying or trying to say in that clip. What did you mean by Black families were more together during Jim Crow?
Frankly, what that is about the empirical fact that before the Great Society, before Lyndon Johnson's policies, there was more Black families united. The marriage rate in Black America was significantly higher before the Great Society. The period of time that coincides with that, obviously, is Jim Crow era. And then after the Great Society, the marriage rate in the Black community plummeted significantly. The Great Society is a part of that reason, not completely, but it's definitely a part of that. And what you're seeing right now in America is a reform. Nostalgia, that was never the point.
Because, in your words, Black people were not just more conservative, they voted more conservatively. That's a good thing. I mean, it sounds like nostalgia. Do you regret using that time frame as a reference?
Nobody ever made nostalgia. That was never the point. It wasn't even about that. So where now I'm going to get my backup is, I didn't say that. I didn't even insinuate that. That is where the media and, yes, Hakeem Jeffries and a lot of other people are taking
what exactly didn't you
No,
insinuate?
back up.
I'm just trying to understand what you're saying. What didn't you insinuate?
The premise of your question, I did not insinuate. That is what people are trying to weave into what I said.
Okay, so now let's, I think this will be an excellent time. This is an excellent time to go play the Hakeem Jeffries clip.
High-quality education without consequence because of Jim Crow. We were not better off when people could be denied the right to vote without consequence because of Jim Crow. How dare you make such an ignorant observation? You better check yourself before you wreck yourself.
You brought it up. You're the one who brought it up. Let's get one more question. I'm going to try to get the timeline. The timeline was when, okay, let's, one more thing. The poverty rate during Jim Crow was 55.1%. More than half of families were impoverished. You also said, and I'm quoting you again, during Jim Crow, more Black people were not just conservative. Black people have always been conservative-minded, but Black people voted conservatively. Black people weren't allowed to vote at all during Jim Crow.
Well, first of all, there were areas in the United States where Black people did vote. It wasn't universal throughout the United States. So let's just be perfectly honest about that. I just told you it was not universal.
We know Jim Crow wasn't
there were areas, but obviously Black people were suppressed from voting.
Are in an interracial marriage, your wife is a white conservative, one more question. During Jim Crow, could your family have existed? You are in an interracial marriage. Your wife is a white conservative activist. Could your family have existed at all during Jim Crow?
No, it could not, Joy. And we all know that. But that's why.
Ow. Ouch. Abby was nicer than Joy. That's still painful, but Joy went out to his family. They're like, hey, you married to a white lady. Talking about Jim Crow, man. So, yeah, not a good look for Byron. Not a good look, man. But, yeah, man, I have people like Tim Black. Come on, man. Come on, Tim Black. I think I was a little soft on Byron, only because I didn't realize he put that clip out himself. See, because he was at a, how can I put this? In the video, go check out the video I did. I never took up for Byron, but I thought they cherry-picked that segment. But then when I was going back over it for this preparing, I realized they got the clip from his timeline on Twitter. But worse than that, they used his whole clip. So it's not out of context, though he sat in this place in Philly with this guy, Wesley Hunt, one of the other, there's only 4 Black men, male Republicans in Congress. So Wesley Hunt's the other one from Texas. They went to Philly at a club called Cigar and Cognac, and they had a conversation with Black men. It was a Black man conversation. I thought, okay, they had all this conversation. They talked about a lot of different points. And this is the one point that the media wanted to focus on. That's not the case. This point, he wanted them to focus on this point. Byron wanted them to focus on this point because he clipped it himself and put it on his own Twitter timeline. So he wanted all the smoke. He wanted this point because he knows it's contentious. He knows it's controversial. He wanted this out there. I'm thinking, okay, someone watched him, because I saw an interview he did where they did with this channel called Forbes. And it's about a 20-minute long interview. And there are a lot of good points made in that video, that at least points that aren't as bad as this one. But it turns out that Byron wanted this to be the conversation. He wanted to have this Jim Crow conversation. I don't think it's a wonder for the Republicans. I also don't think it's a wonder for Democrats. I think it's all a distraction from the real shit. That's how I see it. I don't see this, how this helps Republicans or Democrats. It doesn't convince, maybe it's just me, but I don't see it convincing many people that they need to support Trump. Just because you're talking about when the black family was together more when they didn't have a choice. I'm just saying, it was segregation. It was the South. Most black people are from the South. This was it? Once emancipation came all the way up to damn near 1970, it's considered Jim Crow. The Great Migration, like in the 40s, 50s, where black people started going more to the North, black people started going north more so to get away from oppression. So, it wasn't great living under Jim Crow or living in the South, because if it was, it would have been a great migration. So there's a lot of points people here can make. Here's my other problem, though. I really detest Hakeem Jeffries. I think Hakeem Jeffries is a skin job, fake person, a mannequin. That's it. I don't see that much difference between him and Byron. And I think that's one of the problems I have, is people that see a difference between Byron selling out and Hakeem selling out. They probably take money from the same people. They're both sellouts. They're both corny. Hakeem has considerably more power. He's next in line to be Nancy Pelosi. And I haven't yet. I don't hear anybody. I hear all these, I see all these vote blue anywho's. I see all the blue dog commentators going after Tim Scott, going after Byron Donalds. None of them go after Hakeem Jeffries. And Hakeem Jeffries' politics sucks. Just an elitist Democrat. Ain't about shit. But the only smoke is for Byron Donalds. So I don't know. He's arrogant. I think I found Byron Donalds to be arrogant. And he got caught slipping. And he should have had talking points together. And he should have known they were going to ask him about wifey. Maybe they didn't think they would hit him that low. And it's not going to be long before Abby starts hitting just as hard as Joy. And sometimes unfairly. Because they were giving her shit because of the last interview she did with Byron Donalds. Yeah, there were people saying Byron Donalds had a good show the first time he went on Abby Phillips' show. They were criticizing her because she let him talk. They did not like that. So Abby Phillips tried to step it up. I think the black family needs our support. I think the black family, I'm an advocate for the black family. I'm a black family man. Kids, wife, the whole thing. So the Tim Black household advocates for black family. I don't think we should rewind the clock of time in order to stay together. And I don't think that should be a mechanism. Poverty and oppression should not have to be present for us to stick together or for us to work things out. I'm not saying that's what he was saying, but I don't get how this helps Trump even having a conversation. But I guess those people in that room and these people that he wanted to see this clip, I guess he think it's a winner because the whole purpose of the Byron Donalds, Wesley Hunt conversation What's to attract black voters, black male voters to Trump? And I don't see how that helps. I just don't see how it helps invoking Jim Crow. So I think he had a bad day on this one. This is bad. This is just bad. I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be. Like, oh my God. But there is one point I will bring up on that topic, and I will say this. Stop talking like everything's all good now. Because the Democrats been talking so much shit about this. Well, obviously, we're doing so much better now. Are we? Black people own about the same amount of wealth as we did in 1950. For all that invoking of Emmett Till and invoking of other young black people that were killed during Jim Crow, lynched, we own about the same amount of property. Oh, we got voting rights. Wow, great. That really helped us own more property and more wealth. It didn't. And we got 5 times the mass incarceration rate. So there's some things you should not be talking like things are so great for black people, because they're not. And you run on them. You run on black oppression every election. You just started running on Latino or undocumented people oppression. Just started doing that. You try to run on trans oppression. But that don't go too. Or running on black oppression is like the thing, man. That's what pays the bills. That's what pays the Democrat bills, man. Trump has been I don't think people really grasp how much Trump has helped the Democratic Party. It's been their fundraising mechanism for the last 8 years. That Trump scare, that Trump fear, woo! Woo! How much money they've been raising off that thing? Oh, man. The gift that keeps on giving. You know how much industry's been created? I told you guys in this video, I think I mentioned it, I know people. I personally know commentators who have become millionaires covering just Trump. Just Trump. Paper. Regular people. Mike in their bedroom. Nothing fancy, but just talking all types of shit every show about Trump. And now they are millionaires. That's the gift. But I don't see how this really helps Trump. And I thought that's what Byron wanted to do. But yeah. So yeah, my only word of caution to the Democrats is, you did the victory lap. You like doing victory laps. And it's also very significant that everybody's talking about Byron Donalds. Yeah, everybody's talking about him because Democrats are afraid that maybe Byron Donalds is resonating with black men. So they got a problem with that. So I'm aware of this. I don't think everybody's aware of this. You know, I'm aware of the politics beneath the politics. He don't talk like Tim Scott. He's full of shit, but he don't talk like Tim Scott. He's like, oh. You know, you don't catch him. Oh, come on. Yeah. He's not as corny as Cory Booker. You know what? Cory Booker's not as corny as Cory Booker be trying to be either. Cory Booker's a big dude. But he emasculates himself to get that money. Hi, my name's Cory Booker. And all the black men who take that money and all these black men in this shit, they all lose the bass of their voice. And Byron Donalds kind of trying to keep a little bit there. So something going on. But where's the policy? And I don't want no, see, that's the thing. At the end of the day, this is all distraction till we get down to policy. So where's the policy, y'all? And at the end of the day, I don't want to hear this shit about opportunity zones. Opportunity zones. When I talked to Dr. Derek Hamilton about this, when he was on the show, we're talking about that Ice Cube contract with Black America. We had a good conversation about those opportunity zones. Opportunities for who? Corporations. not worker bees, corporations. So, we got people that, so I'm all about policy, and I will I will mess the whole scene up. I'm going to expose the whole shit. When I see the policies run out and they be on some of that, when they on that bullshit, on that equal opportunity zone crap, pretending like giving tax breaks to corporations without stipulating that you even had to employ local people. You can have a call center in the hood, get a discount on the office space, take the tax break, and don't hire no motherfuckers from the town in that opportunity zone area. There's no teeth in the legislation. Now, I do give credit for the First Step Act. I did give credit for that. Helped a lot more people than what Biden did with the marijuana charges for federal. But see, that's the thing. The people that still have that residual Democrat shit in their heads, you're giving them credit. I'm advocating for the better policy. And that shit Obama did, that shit didn't help hardly nobody. That my brother's keeping shit or whatever he was doing. Making that grand scene, going into a first president to visit a penitentiary or something. And at the end of the day, they didn't really do shit except do a photo op. So I want legislation with some bite in it. So, yeah, I think Byron is screwed up here. But I think he just, maybe just wanted the airtime. Maybe he wanted to say something controversial so he could get more press so that Trump would be like, oh, this guy knows how to work the media just like I do. I don't know. But he intentionally put that out. He put that out on his own. So he wanted to smoke. He wanted to go on Abby. He wanted to go on Joy. He wanted that. It is what it is. Yeah. Okay, guys. Next clip, man. Now we're getting almost the current day. This is the one. This I did on Friday. It was part of Friday's live stream if you missed it. Once again, this is the Tim Black Show. We do this on Sundays. It's called Tim Black's Recap. Tim Black's Sunday Recap, okay? So Sundays now, starting at, I want to say 8. I want to say 8 o'clock. We're going to recap everything that happened that the week, the week before that. What had happened is this. What had happened. Then we also going to give a brief preview of what's coming up. Yeah. So if you missed Friday's show, y'all, check this out. Briahna Joy Gray got terminated on Thursday. On Friday's show, we talked about it. If you missed the clip about it, if you missed it, here goes a little clip, get you up to speed on the Briahna Joy saga, the situation with the heel, and check it out.
On her face, and she blacked out. Like, this is how you treat people. This is how you treat women. And this is only the things that happened to my little sister on October 7th. And from then, we don't know what else they can do. It's the same terrorists that hold her, that are holding her right now. And we know from released hostages about abusing they were having, whether it was mentally, physically, or sexually. And that's just terrifying. My sister is a young, amazing woman, and she just loved her life, and she loved working with autistic children. And it's not that hard to condemn terror groups. And, you know, I can say a lot of things. Can't sleep at night, can't even drink a sip of water.
This whole story is about this video. It's not just so the media framed it as if Briahna Joy Gray loses her job because of what takes place in this video. I'm going to present to you, as we watch the rest of this, that this is just the last nail in the coffin. I believe they had already planned to give it to Briahna Joy Gray. This is camouflage for them to be able to get rid of her without too much backlash from the public.
But regrettably, the reporting has been roundly discredited by both Israeli and American media sources. So I really would like to bring this back to your sister specifically. And I want to ask you about what you make of new reports.
Because I saw the pictures with my own eyes. And when you will have a sister in a terror organization's hand, you will know the feeling of terrifying every minute of every day, can't sleep at night, can't even drink a sip of water because I know that my sister is drinking salt water from the sea, that she's not getting food and the terrorist is eating in front of her face.
Yeah, Yarden, I really hope your sister does get water and food, and I hope that, I'm sure you're aware of the ample reporting of Israel blocking aid, food and water to Gaza in a way that is hurting both the people of Gaza and the hostages, right?
Most of the trucks are getting inside Gaza. I don't know if you saw, but Hamas is blocking them from them civilians. They're not giving their own civilians the humanitarian aid that everyone is so eager to give them. And I'm not against that. I'm a nurse. Thank you. Me too. And
is any threat of terrorism from our own people. And I would like to clarify also that one of the rationale that was presented for 9/11 was discussed with America's support of Israel's continued occupation of Palestine. So that's neither here nor there. I really do hope that Netanyahu agrees and Israel agrees to the ceasefire deal that could bring all the hostages, including your sister, home. And I'm sure many people watching are praying for her safety.
Thank you. Me too. And I really hope that you specifically will believe women when they say that they got hurt.
All right. Thanks for joining. Stick around. More Rising coming up next.
That's I'm sorry, man. That's funny. Joy's tired of that shit. Briahna was like, ah! All right. Okay. Maybe you saw it, you know. Now everybody knows it was a setup. But Friday night, everybody didn't know it. Only those who intuitively knew it, right? This was before Briahna Joy Gray went on any shows, and I didn't watch any shows that framed it that way at all. It's just what I felt in my gut is that this was all a setup. They wanted to get rid of Briahna Joy Gray, and they used this as a catalyst to do that. Turns out, thanks to Buck let me know that there was a show on Greenwald's channel where Glenn Greenwald, where it turns out it was even worse than I thought, because like this lady said, hey, I want to come on the show and I want to talk to Briahna Joy Gray. So that she came in gunning for Briahna Joy Gray. And so it was even more of a setup. It's even like, hey, and Briahna was like, hey, I told him maybe this isn't good because I don't want to get into a back and forth, with a guest over their opinion or my opinions on certain news stories. I don't want to do that. Like, and they were like, you got to do it anyway. So I don't know. So yeah, and like I was looking at it like, hey, this lady, maybe she's verifiably being honest that her sister has been a hostage. And I know we got all these different politics running around and people saying, hey, there are Palestinian hostages. There have been people that have been held. Palestinians have been hostages for years. And some have still been hostages before October 6th and whatever. So I get all that. I get it. Once again, yeah, I thought it was a setup. And it's, I don't know what's up with the Hills Rising, but also I got to point out, man, I got to point this out. And there was the point. There's a different point that I haven't said yet. I said some things that tick people off about this. Not really. I was a little critical, like, hey, I've interviewed people that have said they were raped, and I've interviewed people who have, whose family members have been killed by police. India Kager, her mom came on the show. India Kager, look her up. And my empathy, I don't know, man, it's who I am. You know, like, I'm like, what? You know, she's telling me this story, and it's horrific. Right? It's a horrific story. When I interviewed Dr. Lanice Bias, the mother of Lynn Bias, and I'm thinking about her youngest son, Jay Bias, who I went to school with, who also was murdered, And then there's, of course, Lynn Bias, who died of a drug overdose. I mean, I was moved when I talked to them. We don't talk about death or these situations. You know, it's just, I've been there. I've been in the shoes. Now, obviously, now, of course, you know, Briahna Joy Gray has quite a fan base, and they're not open to any criticism at all of her, and any criticism of her or any different opinion about how to conduct that type of interview as just as hating, whatever, even though I've had similar interviews and did them a little differently. So I can have an opinion that's not just toxic. You can't just say, oh, it's toxic. It's because I say, hey, you know, could throw a little bone. But once again, maybe Brianna's ready to go. Maybe she knew the handwriting was on the wall and there was nothing she could do. So, you know, we could all Monday morning quarterback about what the quarterback should have done on Sunday, but we ain't in the game with him. It's whatever. But from my position of being a commentator with his own show, who has interviewed people and had touchy subject matter, and sad subject matter, emotional subject matter. You know, it is, you know, I didn't feel a humanistic connection to it. But once again, I didn't know all this shit was going on. Like, I didn't know this one came in and got it for Briahna Joy Gray and the initial, right? I had no idea that it was that bad. Like, I did say in my original video, I felt the Hill had set this up to do this, but they really set it up. Like, they really just got somebody, I mean, really come in and just do a hatchet job on their own employee. And I don't understand why you would need to do it. You want somebody gone, just let them go. She was on a month-to-month type thing. It's not like they had to pay her out. She was on a year contract and a 2-year contract, and there was 19 months left. And they had to give her 4 point, whatever. She's on month-to-month. I don't understand why they would do it. It's like they're not saving a lot of money about doing this. It wasn't a financial thing where they want you to quit. You ever had a job where they want you to quit so they ain't got to give you unemployment? Anyway, that's not the case. Joy is a Harvard lawyer, which people keep reminding me. It's very elitist, some people in these comment section. But I'll tell you this, man. I'll tell you this. So much for class struggle when it comes to criticizing a Harvard lawyer. Check this out, guys. And I'm going to say this. You ready to get mad? Get mad. Go and get mad. Check this out. What'd you expect? Yeah, I've been holding this since the first segment. We're talking about second segment. What segment was Candace Owens? Candace Owens, that was the third segment. Okay, since Tuesday or Wednesday. I said, Candace Owens, what did you expect? You work for the Daily Wire. You know what type of politics these assholes have? You've been there. You know what they've done. You know what you've done. Well, the owner of The Hill is shit. He's a shit conservative billionaire asshole. You saw what it did to other people. Like we already know, you already knew. What'd you think when you took the job? Oh, I'm a best man to report on all types of, you know they're garbage. They're garbage. I'm not saying don't take the job, but if we could say Candace should know about Daily Wire, I did research on The Hill back in 2018, 2019, some shit. Do you guys know? This is a big Trumpy dude. Big time Trump supporting dude. Owns The Hill. That's who's financing The Hill. Next Star Media is not like some progressive. So what I'm saying is, it's like Little Fox. It's like Little Fox News-ish, right? And all I'm saying is like what we expect to happen. But see, people won't say that when they like a person. So you don't like Candace, what'd you expect? Daily Wire shit. Ben Shapiro. But you won't say that about The Hill when it's owned by Next Star Media, which is also shit. But that's hate. That's hate to say. You reap what you sow, you get what you pay for. At the end of the day, these people made a lot of money, and it ain't gonna last forever, and they still have their own platforms. Both Candace is gonna be okay, and so is Briahna Joy Gray. And they're both can team up and do something together. That's been one suggestion. I'm joking. I'm being sarcastic now. Okay, I'm being sarcastic. But I find it hilarious. Hilarious. That's a wrong position to take. Once again, Charlie Kirk ain't follow me because he like milk dud here, black man. Neither is Daily Wire. And on the other side of that, get the money. Oh, get the money. Get the reach. Get the awareness. Build your brand. But no one wants to say, hey, but these people are shit. I've had motherfuckers criticize me for wearing a shirt they thought was too nice. Turns out it was a $20 shirt from JCPenney. I just know how to starch that motherfucker. I've had progressives shit on me for a shirt they thought was too nice for me to own. But these people could work for Next Star Media. Really? I forget the name of the owner, but he's look him up. Look him up. Fact check me. Why you think everybody else got the fuck away from him? Why did Crystal and Saga leave? I don't know why, but there's a reason. Why did Katie Hopper lose her gig? Kim Iverson had horrible politics. Horrible anti-black politics like a motherfucker. Pew. Puh. Horrible politics. Horrible points of view. I wouldn't even bring her on my channel. She was so horrible. And I go, people, Kim Iverson, because she's against, Israel, so she's great. Really? So it's like people like what they like, and they like, they'll take their point and totally discount all the bad shit they do, as long as they ride for the issue that they care about. And that's just kind of how it goes. You know what I'm saying? But so I'm not lighting candles in the mirror in the window for Kim Iverson losing her gig over there. And Kim Iverson knows why I don't walk with her too. I think she took them videos down of horrible takes on black shit. She was doing it, Candace Owens, before Candace Owens was doing Candace Owens. No, around the same time, Candace Owens before she hit big. It was like Tommy, Kim, Iverson. She was doing that nationalistic shit, saying white men were aggrieved, and the only people that are really suffering in America are white men. She was saying shit like that. And there were other people that weren't that far off, saying black people need to be quiet and be happy. Take these populist, universal shit and be happy. Which brings me to, since we're doing controversy, and I'm here for the smoke, which brings me to my last clip. And my last clip is about something I said that was controversial. And I know you think, oh, Tim, this was already controversial enough. Nah, it wasn't controversial enough. We're about to get controversial now. You ready? All right. Here you go. This last clip is Tim Black with blunt comment. Tim Black's blunt comment of the week. Check it out. Has been let go over this. But I gotta say this one last thing, man. I say one last thing on this. You know me, man. I can't just make friends with everybody and I gotta say the thing, right? One of these days, I want to see somebody black get fired for standing up for black people. Mark Lamar Hill got fired for standing up for Palestinians. Briahna Joy Gray got fired for standing up for Palestinians, seems like. And Katie Hopper got fired for standing up for Palestinians. I mean, maybe not. Katie Hopper's white, but when I went on this show, she made a point to tell me that her mother had an affair with Mayor Marion Barry, and that's pretty black. I don't know if you get any blacker than that. Murray Barry is black. You know, rest in peace to Marion Barry, man for life. But yeah, I mean, but real talk though, I'd like to see that one time. I'd like to see the fire. I mean, I saw Mark Lamar Hill going in, defending Briahna Joy Gray, and I saw him come out of himself, pissed off because some of the people in the comment section were like, hey, why couldn't she be a little bit nicer to the Jewish girl? You know what I'm saying? The sister may be getting, graped. And he's like, well, we don't know that. You don't know what's really going on. It's not we don't believe the sister. The sister's not there to tell us the story. We're getting a secondhand story from a person who's got it from someone else. Who knows what we really know? We don't know. We need evidence. And I was like, wow, Mark Lamar Hill does have a lot of power and fire when he, But I'm like, where's this shit for us? You know how many black people have died in mass incarceration? I mean, I know it's not Gaza war, but I'm just saying, we've died in prison. You realize they let us off them plantations. The moment they let us off plantations and gave us freedom, they started Jim Crow. Yeah. So that was my controversial comment of the week, my most controversial. And some people let me have it in the comment section. But hey, man, that's how it is. Check it out. I stand by it. Yeah, see, here's the deal, man. Even in progressive circles, even in the progressive online, even in the liberal online, see, people don't really stand up for black people unless it's a black person gets shot by white cops. And then not so much even that anymore, because that's kind of not in anymore because the whole Black Lives Matter fraud thing. So that's sort of like not popular anymore. Black people still dying. We're still at the bottom of all good charts and at the top of all the bad charts and everything. We're still short of life expectancy, own no property. There's a group of falling behind in every imaginable way. A woman is still dying at thrice the level of white women just giving birth to their children. Black men still live like an average of 10 years less than white men. And we still don't have shit. So it's not like the alarm's not sounding. It's like background music now. It's like crickets. The cries of black people are like crickets, man. It's like, hear the crickets? Yeah, I can do, but I don't. It's like, my granddaughter Nadia, she's just 2, right? And sometimes she's crying so loud, and she's like being just fussy. And Mrs. Black, I'm like looking at her like, Jesus Christ, I know this is hard. She's like, I just tune it out. It's not even happening. Like I just tune it out. She'll get tired of doing that, Yeah, I'm like, she's like, I'm like, what? I'm getting a headache. She's like, nah, just keep talking. What were you saying? And like the baby's going, hey, grandma. And I'm like, you don't hear this shit? She's like, nah, I'll just tune it out. That's how America treats black people pain. And there's no money in it. That's why people don't champion for it. See, I do this. This is what I do. I've been doing this for over 10 years. When other people were doing other things. And shout out to all the great stuff they've been doing. I was covering black issues. And there ain't a whole lot of money in it. Not if you do it honestly, not if you do it real. And there ain't a whole lot of crossover diversity. And a whole bunch of DEI in the people that give a shit about it. Not really. I mean, once you go too far, you start asking for shit, you start demanding shit, you become relentless with that. People leave. In fact, of Mark Lamont Hill and Briahna Joy Gray, Katie Hopper, all these people that lost their job, Mehdi Hassan, even Dr. Cornel West. And you know I love Dr. Cornel West, right? Even Dr. West, none of them lost whatever they lost. I mean, he lost his tenure, right? Dr. West lost his tenure. Norman Finkelstein, he lost his tenure. Nobody lost shit for fighting for black people. If you got a problem with me saying that, you ain't keeping it real. You ain't got to like it. It's facts. It's facts. Briahna Joy wasn't fired because she went toe-to-toe demanding reparations for black people and fighting for that and went over the top and pissed people off and got the white nationalists so upset and so pissed off and the Trump people so whatever, or the Democrats so pissed with her that, you know, kept pushing it. Nor has she gone so far that her audience, that is like, let's keep it real, 90% white, right? Probably. Come on, man. That they started exiting her because she keeps talking about black people shit. I'm the only one that got punished for this shit. Now, I could get fired, but I could get deplatformed. But I got everything else. Right? Katie Hopper lost her job, they say, because she was, you know, she did a segment, her radar on the Hill was too anti-Zionist, too pro ending a genocide, and people, they say she lost her job for it. She didn't lose her job because she was like, you know, and we are fucked up and we need to do this, and white women, and you did this, and you owned slaves, and you did this, and this, and then nobody did no shit like that for black people. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not telling you it's a great career move, because it's not. But some things shouldn't be about career, should they? I mean, it's bad for your career. You know what's not bad for your career? Really? Standing up for anybody else. Standing up for anybody else on the left is good for your career. Except black people. I mean, unless somebody says the N-word, then you can stand up for that. But that ain't the same thing, right? That's not going to save lives. That's not going to change that birth rate, the death rate, a pregnancy rate, the death of pregnancies. That's not going to change the fact that we own 2%, less than 3% of the property in America, though we're 14% of the population. That's not going to change shit. I'm not saying talking about it will, but not talking about it ain't going to change it. Got motherfuckers saying, we would support reparations, but, you know, first, we got to get Medicare for all. We got to get this, we got to get that. So it's divisive. Hell, my proof is this right now. Look how quiet my comment section is now. And these are my people. Look at this. Look how the comments slow down. That's how you know you're on something. See, that's when you're being effective, because people stop. But if you ain't challenging the thought process, you're not challenging the narrative of people's internal narratives, what are we doing? So yeah, I'll say it again. I wish some people lost their jobs to black people. Because as quiet as it's kept, we've been going through a genocide this whole fucking time, man. This entire time, black people have been going through a genocide. This entire time. And I'm not trying to do the, you know, who suffered most Olympics, the oppression Olympics. I'm not on the OO, but what I'm saying is, I'm not seeing it. And I'm not saying they need to go back and then do that too. I'm just making an observation because this is what I do. I want people that are mature enough, real with themselves enough to just think about what I'm saying and try to understand me a little bit better and understand what I've been doing and why I've been doing it. And I'm not saying I'm saying there's money on one side and that's all other. There is opportunity on the other side of this for some people. But when you support Black folks and when you're going in and you're going after the power structure, honestly, on Black people shit, I think maybe the military industrial complex, if you really make that a thing that you do, I'm not saying it's a cakewalk to go after AIPAC. I'm not saying it's a cakewalk, but I'm saying the support is there. The support is there. Because there's people who have resources that will support you because they share that with you. That's my point. I'm not saying, because I can't even see the comments other than how much they're moving and how much they're not moving. I'm too far back. But I'm not saying it's easy to support these other things. I'm saying there is a base of support for what you would be doing that will help you. There are people that can't wait to support Briahna Joy Gray because she stood up against this Zionist shit, right? I've been hearing it for the last 4 days. I've been seeing it. Hell, there are people in this comment section right now going, go over there right now, please, and go unsubscribe to the Hill and support Joy. I know you do. I know. We stand up for Black people like I stood up for Black people. People weren't saying that. When I said the majority point don't ride like that for Black people, people say, yeah, they're real progressives on every other issue but. On every other issue but, man. When I pointed out Kyle Kalinske, I'm not really riding for Black people. Oh, guess what? Doesn't support reparations. Ooh, they were like, fuck Kyle. Support Tim. They weren't. So I'm not saying it's easy to support, to go up against AIPAC. Lord knows that's not true. But there is a built-in, you got enough base of people that will support you for having that stance, who have resources to support you having that stance. And what I'm saying is, when you ride or die on Black issues hardcore, not on some bullshit, not on some we can wait another 100 years bullshit, when the sun lines up correctly with the moon, when donkeys fly, and all other issues are resolved, then maybe we could talk about reparations. Now, when you ain't on that shit, when I say it's fucked up to say, oh, well, Medicare for all is going to help a lot of Black people because a lot of Black people need Medicare more than white people. So just to say that's a Black policy. When I say that's fucked up and you're fucked up for floating that. When a whole lot of people go, yeah. But if I were to say that about trans people, it's okay to dismiss them. People boycott. People boycott you for that shit. If I was to say, oh, what we worry about, I got people that feel like people here who are living basically hovering around the poverty rate, who say, hey man, I don't got time to worry about Palestinian issues. The backlash they get, your tax dollars are being used to fund a genocide. How horrible are you for not supporting us, complaining about our government doing that? And I've said that. But I never thought less of those people because I understand when you gotta, if you truly know the numbers of what's going on with Black people, you may feel like you ain't got bandwidth for other stuff. When you got a Chevy sitting on your foot, it's hard to think about anything else other than that, unless you don't have a Chevy sitting on your foot. So yeah, that was my controversial statement. And in fact, I didn't go as far, as you could see in that video, I didn't go as far as I'm going now, because I've had time to think about it. And people could deny it all they want, and people can idolize other people and say, hey, you know what you're talking about, and say he's hating all this other shit. That's what people who don't have any true insight say. They say you're a hater. And all I'm telling you is there is no money in supporting Black people to the full extent that's going to require to change this shit around. And when I say, hey, Black people need that type of support where people are willing to lose their gigs, for us, when I say that, there are a lot of Black people that resonate with that. They may not be here right now, but they exist. There are a lot of Black people that will resonate with that. Some of them say that's why they don't support Dr. West. I've heard all the feedback. See, people have written me long letters, long emails over the last 6 months. Long emails. So I ain't crazy, and neither are they. And I'm just pointing out the facts. I'm not saying it's right that she got fired. I'm not saying it's right that Katie lost her job either. I'm saying Next Star Media is shit. And I knew that years ago when I was talking about how shit they were. And that's when Kyle and Saga went in. And I think people knew they were shit. But it's all good. It's all good. Doesn't mean I agree with them. No, I won't side with Next Star Media. They are shit, period. But that's not the end of the conversation. At least not for me. At least not for me. So, yeah. You don't think that people have some, you don't think people make decisions or how they rolling with shit? Maybe they don't. Maybe they do. I don't know. One day the books will open. One day somebody's going to somebody's going to crack some safes. We're going to see some data. We're going to find out some stuff, and we're going to know some stuff. But until then, all we got is intuition. All we have is thoughts. We have opinions. You know what I'm saying? And I just know based on my experience. Black people bad bargaining chips. That's why people bargain the other way. And it's sad. It's heartbreaking for real. When I realized it, I was destroyed in a way because I thought these were the good people. And it was all the way up to a certain point. And then it's like, no, you got too far because it is what it is. And that doesn't mean I support doesn't mean I support what's happened to anybody losing their job, or definitely do not support the bombing of innocent people. Never support that. I'm just pointing out other stuff. And that should be okay to do because we can keep two thoughts in our head at one time. We can keep two thoughts and everybody gonna be okay. Everybody gonna make money, they're gonna make their money. Be fine. Use it for what they were worth. Reach the audience. So we're supposed to last forever? They're lost. Fuck them. But we can have a conversation, a broader conversation, or some other points that some people may be missing. That's all I'm saying. So that's it, man. Look, that's it for that. So, Tim, what's on the itinerary for next week, man? I'm lucky you asked, man. I happen to have that right here. So, it's going to be new election news. There's going to be more coming. More polls are supposed to come this week about how Trump's doing, what his numbers look like. They say that polling results have come in since the big conviction. So, we're going to get better snapshot of really how Trump's base is taking it. And if Biden's base is growing, has he picked up numbers? I've been hearing some stuff about RFK. And now they're coming at Cornel West a little bit. So a lot's going on. So that's one of the stories we'll be covering this week. The other is Trump's activities. He's stepping it up. Now that he's off that trial, he don't have to be in court. He's on the road. He's going to be very busy, active. He's going to get active. So that's the other thing. Several appearances are scheduled for Trump this week, okay? Unlike the mainstream media, I'm going to report on a couple of them. See what's going on. Also, Vice President Harris is going after Trump. She's on the offense, going after Trump, saying his ass is unfit. He is unfit to be president. He's disqualified. His conviction, she said, his conviction is disqualified. And she's going to be making the rounds trying to make that case. So it's going to be a very active week. I can't wait to cover this because these are important points. And also, Fetterman just did the Bill Maher show, and I can't wait to get on him. I got to follow that up. So that's 4. That's 4 topics. Okay. Yeah. 4 topics for this week coming up. Goodness gracious, y'all. All right, that's all I got. Lord knows it seemed like that was a lot. Once again, this is a Tim Black Sunday recap. Woo! Cage fight, Harris and Trump. Cage fight. It's going to be, look, is Harris going to emerge here? Is she going to come out and do some damage? You know, hey, man. That would be the time. People keep saying at the last minute, some people believe at the last minute, they're going to switch Biden out. I don't know, man. I don't put anything past the Democratic Party. Who knows? Very interesting, y'all. Very interesting. Right? Okay. Hey, I want to thank everybody that turned out for the show tonight. Harris can fight. We'll see. We will see. Woo. Katrina said, I don't care about Trump. He was president already, and he fucked it up. All right, you know what I find is very interesting about all this, right? Is that Biden and Trump were both president before. Fam, like, I don't know everything about our American history, but I gotta imagine this is like one of the only times in the last 100 years. I'll go back 100 years. I think I can safely say in the last 100 years, there hasn't been a former president against a current president. Both nominees of different parties, of their respective parties. Is this the first time for that? I'm thinking, I know the last 100 years, it hasn't happened. I wonder in history. So I don't know in history because we got some crazy stuff that happened in America. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But I just find it crazy. So people can act like they don't know what they're getting. Can be like, I don't know. Now, for the first time, this guy was already in office. You should already know. And this guy is in office. You can't be like, I don't know. You know? Yeah, this is like the first time in history where it's like, you had a kick, like, you kicked the tires. 4 years is a tire kick, man. You know what Trump's about. And we have Biden now, so you can't be like, oh, I don't know. I can't make my head up. I can't figure it out. What's going on? I don't know what to expect. I don't know whatever happens, you sign up for it. Unless you go with Dr. Cornel West or Dr. Jill Stein or Claudia De La Cruz or RFK Jr., right? Yep. Man, I'm something, All right, guys. My name is Tim Black. Once again, go to Join Tim Black to become a member of the Tim Black Show. Go to Watch Tim Black to watch our stuff. And we do this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's my new schedule. I'm off on Saturday. Yep, that's it. I got new days now because that's what time it is. Yeah, man. Tim Black is smashing the pedal. Remember, like I always say, don't let nobody take your cornbread. Keep your cornbread handy. These people are trying to take your damn cornbread. Don't let it happen. All right? I got number love for you. Shout out to everybody. Be safe. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I got love for you. Wolfpack. Where's my music?